see that I am up on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. All right. That'll work. That'll work. Check these out. Let's see how they see if they can. Yeah. All right. Let me cut this up. All right. Let me cut this up. I don't know, it's in the echo, but at least it's up. I'm up. We up. It's up. It's up. Okay. uh. Whoa. Oh. It, TikTok popped up. I'm not going on TikTok right now, man. All right, so welcome everybody. How you doing? I hope you've had a good week. Hope you've had a great day. Hope you're doing good right now. I definitely am. So of course, as we know, we have 2 songs that we are writing right now, but to be honest, sometimes I just feel like I kind of want to work on something else or do something else. So I'm going to go ahead and literally build this from scratch. I'm going to start. I already preloaded like these sounds, but I'm not gonna go with them. Like, I mean, I had been messing around just trying to start getting into the mode. I started just trying to get into the mode a little bit, and now that I feel like I'm in the mode, well, take that back. I don't feel like I'm in the mode, but I will. So start that now. Let me swap that. I like how that sound though. Low key, high key. See what that's like. So what I'm really doing right now is just trying to find like a solid little drum kit. I like this. I guess I ain't favorite too many of them. Maybe I'm going at it backwards, right? See what kind of mood I am. Let's see I'm gonna start with like a pad or something. All of these are already in my favorites, so. I put these in my favorites just so times like this, like I wanted to go through the whole thing, like whatever one of these sounds were, or whatever one of these plugins were, and then just favorite it. And when I found one that I wanted to favorite, and now that I got a whole gang of them, like 400 plus. Now it makes it easier for me to just scroll through. Let's see what's here. Tempo. Yeah, that's because I don't use it. I don't use auto tune. Probably should though.
Like you need to use auto tune because I don't know what's wrong with your throat. I don't know what's wrong with your throat, your voice.
Okay. What would I even want to? I don't got allowed for a reason. Let me try to figure that out. I had something going. I was trying to build a chord, but it's A though. Sound shit like that. Lug it. what I wanna be when I got older. Well, I'm there. I try to make it make sense, so I stare and don't really care about too much about nothing except for family. So what does that mean? I don't really know too much. I just go one foot in front of the other. I don't know about too much no more. Yeah, this shit crazy, man. The whole world wild. We got nuclear bombs going crazy. Moving over our head. Okay, yeah. Where I put a gain stager on it, if you can see at the bottom, so I got better control. know what I wanna hear. I know what I wanna do. I know what I wanna do. Hey, that echo is wild. Thank you for being a friend. Travel the world and back again. You're more than a friend. You're a pal and a confidant. Hey man, shut up. Don't tell nobody I did that, right? come together. It started off a little sloppy, but it come together though. Oh, I will call this. I'm gonna add more to it too, obviously. I mean, clearly, obviously, I'm gonna add more to it, right? Like this just trying to get a better. I don't know. It's just building the song, man. You know, got a couple like that. But the dope part is when I actually finish it, you know. And I don't know if you can kind of tell, but you should be able to kind of tell that when my vocals come through, when I finally write to these things, it's just the hardest thing to write lately. And it's crazy because I've been writing all my life. I am a writer. Anyway, be right back.
we've got an update in the Ben 10 All-Star JR shootout situation, and unfortunately, it's really not a good one. It seems like the word going around now is that Ben 10 is paralyzed. He's confirmed that he's in a wheelchair. Some people are saying that apparently new charges that are brought against All-Star JR are saying that Ben 10 is actually permanently paralyzed. And All-Star JR might have done a little bit too much. Okay, we saw the footage of him apparently standing over Ben 10, shooting him on the ground. There was rumors he pistol whipped him, spat on him, all type of nasty stuff. And honestly, I'm not sure he's going to be able to beat this. It's pretty bad. Okay, so I'm going to break it all down to you. I've got all the links and all the updates in this video for you guys, so I'm going to give you an update on everything going on with All-Star JR and Ben 10. Before I do that, I just want to let you guys know I got a new channel. You might have seen a video that I did the other day about a big shootout in Houston Walmart or a Sam's Club. I've just got this little side project I'm doing. I'm doing a body cam channel, so I just dropped a video over there. So if you want to see some more other types of content from me, just hop on over there. It's in the links in the description, body camera. So you know what I'm saying? If you're not feeling that, then you know what I'm saying, don't worry about it. You can skip that. But anyway, okay, this situation with Ben 10 and All-Star JR is one of the saddest situations I've seen in hip-hop in a while, okay? And it was crazy, the still imagery that we saw of All-Star JR running up in there with the gun and standing over Ben 10. It was a vicious attack, but it does sound like he is the one that turned the tables on Ben 10, who had initiated the robbery, allegedly. But I'm surprised that All-Star JR's getting arrested, but Ben 10, J. Prince Jr., I don't know if OG3 was involved. Doesn't seem like he was specifically involved. You know, Dead End Ron, the guy that lost his finger. I'm surprised they haven't been hit with robbery charges, but maybe they will. But this is the latest update. NBA Ben 10 posted on his story on Instagram, apparently confirming he's in a wheelchair after being shot during that shooting. And this is the clip, man. You might have already seen this, but this is the latest.
I thought it was the other niggas. Big ass lizards. I know this was. Hold up, cuz. What up now? Got Pistol P with me. I got Fool with me. I got Queefy with me, too. I'm going through that situation right now, but we still taking it out. They got 50 with me. I pulled a 3.
So, I mean, it sounded like he got like the motorized wheelchair going on. He got the strap with him.
Why though?
He got the drink with him. I mean, shit. He's still dangerous. Don't get it twisted. He's still dangerous, okay? Now, he would later post a video that got a lot of people's attention. Obviously, he's in a wheelchair, but he did post a video of him moving his toes. Now, obviously, this is honestly really promising, okay? A lot of people are saying, look, he might be temporarily paralyzed. Some people will be paralyzed for months before they go through physical therapy. And the fact that he is apparently able to move his toes kind of shows that there is some movement. It's probably some nerve damage that might heal. It might be healing. This might be a movement he's just regained recently. But if he locks in with their physical therapy, a lot of people are saying he could walk again. But some people aren't buying it, and some people have been very disrespectful. But this is the clip. So it was kind of like a sort of twitch, right? And, you know, he's moving. To me, he's moving. I mean, that is like... That to me is like, okay, well, if you got hit in the spine and you bring in some movement back, it's coming back, you working on it. That's really promising, and I'm praying and wishing for the best for Ben 10. Unfortunately, not everybody had a positive perspective on this. And Mimo600 from Chicago, he responded to the video getting disrespectful. Okay, he said, "You ain't fooling me. Somebody bumped into that wheelchair." Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not buying that somebody bumped into the wheelchair. I'm seeing real movement, okay? I'm sorry, Mimo, all right? I rock with you, but that's looking like he's regaining some movement there. Let's not lie to ourselves and lie to the people. It looks like he's gaining some movement. Twitch. But basically, as of today, May the 29th, 2026, All-Star JR has now officially been charged in the shooting, and it's definitely not great. So in the latest updates from the authorities, they're saying that Ben 10 actually does have irreversible paralysis, okay? So this rapper NBA Ben 10 has irreversible paralysis after Upper Kirby restaurant shooting as Michigan rapper faces new charge. Jeremy Ford, also known as rapper All-Star JR, allegedly confessed to the shooting. I mean, he's going to say it's self-defense. Now, we got the images, and it's pretty crazy. I mean, this is looking like a straight John Wick shit, okay? It's unbelievable how this all went down. I've just turned my ad blocker on, so I'm not responsible for any of the crazy ads that pop up, right? Because I keep getting the ad blocker banhammer. Anyway, a rapper already under federal indictment in connection to a shooting at an Upper Kirby restaurant is now facing state charges related to the barrage of gunfire that injured another rapper. Jeremy Christopher Ford, a 36-year-old rapper from Michigan, also known as All-Star JR, is now charged with aggravated assault causing a traumatic brain or spine injury, according to Harris County court records. So that spine injury, that's bringing specific charges. They done made laws to say, hey, if you put someone in a wheelchair, we hitting you with some serious charges. So he's accused of shooting Ben Field, also known as Fields, also known as NBA Ben 10, during a fight at Confessions restaurant in Upper Kirby. Shootout right there in Confessions. Now I'm 2-0. All right. All-Star JR's hard with it. According to federal court records, surveillance video showed Ford in a fight inside the restaurant, possibly involving a necklace and a watch. A gun fell to the floor, investigators said, which Ford allegedly picked up and begun firing, hitting 3 people. Houston police investigators said after initial shots appeared to hit Fields, Ford allegedly continued firing the gun before he went over to Fields and fired 3 more rounds at him close range. The gun then appeared to run out of bullets, according to investigators, but Ford tried to fire it again at Fields' head. After it didn't fire, police said Ford pistol whipped Fields and spit on his face. Here's the thing. It was self-defense right up until you started doing all that.
Right.
And if they work out that the shots that you fired while he was on the floor are the reason for that, you cooked, and he might be cooked. Investigators now revealed that Fields suffered a spine injury as a result of the shooting, and he doesn't have sensation from the waist down. Based on the extent of the injuries, the prognosis for the complainant Fields is that he will have irreversible paralysis of his lower extremities. After the shooting, federal court records indicate that Ford hid the gun behind a hostess stand and took off in an Escalade. He was federally indicted earlier this month for unlawfully possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. He was arrested in Detroit last month after federal investigators say Ford posted videos on social media referencing the shooting, taunting the victims, and released a music video with lyrics including "Shootout right there in Confessions. Now I'm 2-0." It's a bar. Even Click to Houston had to wheel up the bars, man. After his arrest, Houston police interviewed Ford, who allegedly confessed to the shooting at Confessions. Bruh, this shit writes itself. He confessed to the shooting at Confession, bruh. Confessions. Maybe Young Thug's like a part owner of Confessions. I don't know. Anyway, according to records, during a federal court hearing last week, records indicate a federal magistrate judge in Houston ordered Ford to be held in custody. It's not clear when he could appear in Harris County Court on the new aggravated assault charge. I honestly think this is very, very bad because realistically, he went overkill. He shot him while he was on the ground. He paralyzed him while he was on the ground. It is a big problem. Okay. So this is the reaction over in Chiracology. Right, to the spine injury. People saying, take what chain, you silly? F wrong with these dudes. Hey, he got some bars, man. They're saying now if the gun didn't jam, it would have been a murder. Saying Ben's lucky the gun jammed. All-Star was about to kill him. The spitting and pistol whipping parts are still crazy to me. You can't stand over somebody in a self-defense situation. The moment you stand over somebody, it turns to attempted murder or murder. Once the threat is neutralized, that's it. I don't know why dude said the whole case was going to get dropped. Right? I do think it has to do with All-Star having the ability to leave, but choosing to keep coming back and attacking. The guy stood over a robber in Houston and didn't get charged. It's different because he let it all off at once, and the stand your ground rule applies here. Once All-Star came back to try and kill him, that throws it all out. They're saying dude left and came back 3 times, and dude's talking about self-defense. Right. Saying this is why you guys need to think rational and learn how the law, learn the law. You already popped him. If you come back to pistol whip and spit on him for, said he gets charged. But the dudes that actually tried to rob him get away scot-free. That doesn't sound crazy to y'all. Here's the thing. I think there is a chance he could still beat it on the basis that, like, you know, he was in the restaurant. One of his attackers went to the elevator, so he could have felt cornered. He didn't know if the person on the ground had the gun. He might be able to get off, all right? He might be able to get off or at least play it down, but he did do too much. Says, I don't know why he stood over him. Said he got jumped, bro. That man defended himself. He did what he had to do. Otherwise, them dudes would have took his chain, okay? They tried to rob him and embarrass him. He flipped the script in literally the worst way. You could imagine how angry he was. He just wanted to show them who the real OG was that day. They're going big all caps, bro.
Yeah, that's
big all
super. Yeah, that's super general.
They're saying, damn, 36, 4 years short of 40, and he did all that trolling and dissing. One would assume a 36-year-old would have maneuvered a little bit differently, but I guess not. Age ain't nothing but a number for real. Did about that last statement, all right? But they're saying dude was moving his legs today. How is paralyzed?
Age bracket, so what?
Okay, so again, there's been some more reaction over in different subreddits. People saying Ben 10 permanently paralyzed. Just because you can move your toes doesn't mean you're not paralyzed. And if you're still arguing that with that, the authorities got more info than you and are smarter than you. Saying dude got sent off by Jay Prince Jr., who's one of the goofiest dudes of all time, and is now glued to that chair. They're saying he's goofy. Saying, free dude, man. If anybody ever tries to bring you harm or take something from you by force, you should have every right to F them over badly. Shit like this be protecting criminals. Says you got to be smarter though. Coming back trying to stand over a dude while he's no longer a threat. He should have known he was going to get fried. Said ain't no dude thinking about how the court going to treat him. They just beat my ass and try to rob me. Blood. F them dudes. You got to keep your emotion in check at all times. You're a grown man. You cannot afford to move off of or let emotions control your actions. You already popped Buddy and his friends crowd dispersed. He down, not reaching for his weapon. This ain't a movie or a rap song. You can't run back over there and stand over him.
Right.
He should have did that out the gate. He could have used heat at the moment. When he ran back over, that's what cooked him. That's a good comment. So for real, he should have just stood over at first, blamed it on impulse. It's like he forgot. So I hear you and your little thesis, but when the shit jumps off, ain't no time to think, ain't no time to react, and time for action. You've got dudes you don't know jumping and beating you. It's time to perform. Trust me, you're not thinking about a damn thing but getting these dudes up off you. It's either them or you. Here's the thing. When he's lying on the ground bleeding out and if he can't move, that's a problem because you're just executing a dude. But at the same time, I feel like he might be able to make a case that he felt cornered. It was you had to take an elevator to get out the restaurant. There was no escape. And an army of mob-tie soldiers could have been running up that elevator at any minute. And he felt like the only way out of it was just to send Ben 10 to the gulag. I don't know. I don't know. But maybe that defense worked. I don't know. I'm no big city lawyer, so I know a lot of people who are walking now who were shot, lost feeling, and confined to a wheelchair for a year and a half. But I also know one guy who shot directly in his back and never recovered. So it's no way to know if he's actually paralyzed the way people think until at least a year or two goes by. What's true is, as of right now, Ben 10 is in a wheelchair but permanently paralyzed. It's 100% speculation regardless of any police reports. Saying, yeah, this kid ain't never walking again. A toe wiggle ain't jack shit when it comes to your spine. But other people saying being able to move your toes is a huge sign when you have a spinal injury. It means you have a great chance of being able to walk again. And he was moving his toes and both feet. And of course he's still paralyzed, but it doesn't mean he isn't going to walk again soon. The authorities aren't doctors. They're just going off what his diagnosis was when it happened. Okay. So let's look at one last piece of analysis from the Dumbway subreddit, the Baton Rouge gang subreddit, NBA side of town. They're talking about irreversible paralysis. Okay. They're saying dudes done turned into doctors in the comments.
Right. That's stupid. Look at this. This dude did a whole hour video about it. I'm not about to watch this dude. That's corny as hell.
Times 1 equaling 1 of the definition of multiply.
He sat and watched
You're
this.
confusing an arithmetic operation with the colloquial connotation of multiplying, meaning to make babies. When we multiply, we make babies and then the family grows. And you think that that's what the arithmetic operation means, again, because you're fucking stupid.
Now let us ponder over the multiplication.
I'm not gonna listen to that. Don't recommend that channel to me. Excuse me. I'm not gonna take no Terrence Howard slam from no white man. Let's see. I low-key remember that.
You ain't got a body no more, son. It's all up here now. You want to move something, you got to move it with your mind. You got to focus. You hear what I'm saying? How? How do you focus? I don't know how you focus. Just focus. How did you do that? You got to take all your emotions, all your anger, all your love, all your hate, and push it way down here into the pit of your stomach. And then let it explode like a reactor. You ain't got a body.
That's dope. What was that? Ghost? Ooh, that felt good. Let's see. They're talking about the 4 different alien types. Let's see. Let's see. Huh? Look at the nigga honeycomb crazy.
Marvin and Andre Williams are two of the most racist, anti-black creators on the internet.
The world has benefited from colonization. It's been a good thing for less developed peoples. Aboriginals would be sitting in skyscrapers right now if the white people never came to their land.
Literally in the middle of a gym, calling your dumbass in here. You're a stupid idiot. Fried chicken, watermelon with salt.
So of course they linked up for a super cringy collab.
Trying to say
What
watermelon
makes this whole
with
thing
salt.
hilarious is that for all the hatred they have for the black community,
Black people are retarded. I'm just gonna call it like it is. They're fucking stupid. They're low IQ. They're fucking morons.
You doing exactly what you do every fucking day, shoot each other and over shoes and words.
and for all the they do for racists, it was actually white people that beat up Andre Williams.
I was arrested and assaulted by multiple people.
Anyway, you respond to the fact that you get manhandled by all them white people, right?
And the same white supremacists that Marvin tap dances for have called him every slur imaginable while telling him he will never be accepted in their community. Yet both of these goofballs have built their platforms around hating and attacking the black community, trying to tap dance for people that will never accept them and hate them just as much as they hate us.
We take this country back. We want it for white folks. And would you go home and you said I was born here and I'm not going anywhere? And this is where I think the problem is with working with non-whites is that once you think you help us, then you're just going to stay in our country. Hey, you
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub.
Told him
now,
straight up.
Let's get into it.
And Myron, if you're not familiar with Andre Williams, extremely excited to be able to connect the two of you. He's absolutely brilliant.
I'm very familiar with them. Black people are retarded. I'm just gonna call it like it is. They're fucking stupid. They're low IQ. They're fucking morons. They're idiotic.
I have to keep reminding everybody, Marvin has brown skin, but Marvin is not from the black community. He is a Sudanese Arab. That's what he is. So all this judgment and hate he has about black people is the craziest thing ever because he's not from our community and has no interactions with our community. He is literally a black American rider. He's obsessed. He's built his whole platform off hating on black people for absolutely no reason at all. Which is funny because he never talks about Sudan. He never talks about the Sudanese people. He doesn't talk about Arabs and all the problems that they have over there. The fact is, black Americans are far more educated, more successful, and have more wealth than the people from his home country. But he won't bring up those facts because it shoots holes in his narrative that black people are all dumb or all violent or all thugs, when we know that's not the truth. Marvin is literally using anti-black propaganda from like 1996 at this point.
They put feelings over facts. It's actually ridiculous. This whole Chud the Builder case has been a perfect example of, you know, black people have lower IQ and not being able to assess the facts and circumstances of a self-defense case versus their own feelings and personal grievances with Chud.
We've seen Marvin put feelings over facts more than anybody else. How many times have we
He's
seen
totally
Marvin
wrong
be
about that.
emotional or crash out?
Because when I was 18 years old, playing Halo, figuring out my life, no bitch would have taken me. So now that I'm up, you're down, that shit, I'm going to exercise the leverage. I left a job that I truly loved.
He admitted
to do
it.
this, right?
He's one of
Because
them.
I shouldn't be admitting this, but
Keep in mind, this emotional moment was after they got demonetized on YouTube. Completely got emotional, cried, and walked off the set, but still has the nerve to call anybody else a bitch.
saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
You are a bitch.
And as a matter of fact, anytime he talks about the black community, he is putting feelings over facts. He's putting the feeling that he doesn't like black people over the fact that all his anti-black propaganda is just not true.
You are not oppressed as an African American in the United States. To all these excuses about why the black man can't get ahead. I'll give y'all one stat. All right, just to show you guys how ludicrous these guys are. In 1940, 87% of blacks lived in poverty. By 1960, about 47% of blacks lived in below the poverty line. Okay, so a 40% drop. Please explain to me how you had a 40% drop of blacks living under the under the poverty line in the worst, one of the worst eras to be a black person in the United States, and then you're fast forwarding to 2023, where racism exists. I'm not denying it exists. However,
it is not strong enough to keep you back or hold you back from success.
That is not how racism or systematic racism works. Being a racist is in a position of power where you can always keep a black person away from success. You can always not promote a black person. Black kids don't get accepted to certain colleges because they're black.
The biggest thing with this dumbass.
Okay, I just want to make sure you can hear it and hear me.
Black poverty has continued to go down. According to him, it was at 87%. I mean, let's be honest, we started at 100%, but according to him, then went down to 40. But in 2022, it was at 17. Honestly, I think that's pretty good.
To go from slavery, hundreds of years behind white people, with nothing to where we are today is amazing. And we don't get credit for it. And we're not the ones with low IQ. Clearly he is, which is why his whole entire audience turned against him with this whole Chud the Builder case. So Myron's own community, white supremacist, racist, bigots, was calling him out for running cover for Chud, for being a hypocrite, for trying to find all this nuance in Chud's situation. Meanwhile, if it was a black person doing that, Myron will be calling them every racial slur under the sun, which really just goes back to the hypocrisy of Myron in the first place. Myron would go to the lowest point of the universe in an attempt to find some type of nuance to a situation and will still claim he's being objective. Myron has drifted so far out of touch with reality. Right. Why you turn off comments in a sneak video, Mr. Free Speech, maybe Sneako video? This comment will soon be deleted by Myron's hypocritical team. And once again, he was the one emotional and crashing out when he got called racist slurs and names once again by his own audience.
Talking about haram this, haram that. You're account for that. Murtad, all these other ass that if they had told me this person, I'd fucking punch them.
You don't have to like Chud to stand for the law, stand for principle, and stand for an American's right to defend themselves regardless of your politics.
He is making it a self-defense case. It's not a self-defense case. His whole argument is flawed.
But they don't have that ability to do so. Like someone said earlier, hey, do you agree that blacks have lower IQ? Yeah, they do. That's not even that's a fact. It is what it is. They average about 85 IQ. And then some stupid fried chicken connoisseur comes in here. Wait, why you gotta say that? Because it's true, you stupid. That's why.
Let's just say what he's saying at face value. I don't want to bash other black people, but let's talk facts. He's using these American standardized, European-based IQ tests, right? Where black Americans typically score between 80 to 90. But again, if he's talking about his own people, in Sudan, they score between 60 to 80. So anything negative he's saying about black Americans, he has to also apply that to his own people, which he never does. But what's really funny is having a high IQ score doesn't equate to intelligence. It's two completely different things. How can someone with a high IQ have these kind of intellectual deficiencies? This article was referring to George W. Bush, who had a very high IQ score, but comes off kind of dumb.
Personal. Fool me, we can't get fooled again.
IQ tests are very good at measuring certain mental faculties, including logic, abstract reasoning, learning ability, and working memory capacity, which is how much information you can hold in your mind. But these tests fall down when it comes to measuring those abilities crucial to making good judgments in real life situations, critical thinking. That's because they are unable to assess things such as a person's ability to critically weigh up information or whether an individual can override the intuitive cognitive biases that can lead us astray. This is the kind of rational thinking we're compelled to do every day, whether deciding which foods to eat, where to invest money, or how to deal with a difficult client at work. We need to be good at rational thinking to navigate our way around an increasingly complex world. IQ tests measure important domain and cognitive functioning, and they are moderately good at predicting academic and work success, but they are incomplete. And this is a really good example. IQ is like the height of a basketball player. It is very important, all other things being equal, but all other things aren't equal. There's a lot more to being a good basketball player than being tall. And there's a lot more to being a good thinker than having a high IQ. And on top of that, when it comes to standardized testing, SATs, IQ scores, all of that stuff, it was created to hurt and limit the black community. They were basically eugenics tests. The history of standardized testing in the United States is deeply intertwined with the eugenics movement and efforts to maintain racial hierarchies. Many of the key architects of modern testing explicitly designed them to justify racial segregation and exclude black people from educational opportunities. The goal of these tests weren't to measure or get an equal gauge of people's intelligence. They are and always have been biased tests created to hurt black people. The racist beginnings of standardized testing, from grade school to college, students of color have suffered from effects of biased testing.
Do you know the history behind the SAT? The SAT was originally created by Carlos Brigham to actually help keep students of color outside of American universities. And he thought that increasing racial diversity in schools would decrease the American intelligence. And because a lot of students of color were getting into colleges like Harvard, they created this test to keep these students outside of these universities. And by 1930, he admitted it was a eugenics test. And even now, the SAT and the ACT are biased against socioeconomic status, race, and ethnicity.
In his 1923 book, A Study of American Intelligence, eugenicist Carl Brigham wrote that African Americans were on the low end of the racial, ethnic, and cultural spectrum. Testing, he believed, showed the superiority of the Nordic race group. Furthermore, the education system, he argued, was in decline and will proceed with an accelerating rate as the racial mixture becomes more and more extensive.
The basis for all modern standardized testing in the United States derives from this guy, Carl Campbell Brigham, who was a proud published eugenicist who created the SAT, the same SAT that is used as a college entrance exam today in 2026, created the SAT because too many immigrants and black people were getting into college. He wanted to create a culturally biased test that would prevent people of color from getting accepted into American universities. All modern standardized testing in America is derived from the work of this guy. And to this day, in 2026, is a direct correlation between how well individual schools do on standardized testing and the average household income of students taking that test in all 50 states, in every school and every school district in the United States of America.
So everything Marvin is saying is cap. It always is, especially when he's talking about the black community.
Why? I'm freezing to you motherfuckers. It is what it is. Like,
Frieza got his ass whooped multiple times by the people he looked down on.
so ridiculous how, like, every time I talk to black people, I feel like a fucking zookeeper. They're retarded. They don't understand anything. I might as well just work at a zoo, be a zookeeper, and tell these niggas what it really is because they're stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. Can't have conversations with these guys. They're dumb as They chimp out. They act like idiots. They embarrass the rest of us that have any type of melanin in our skin. You know, people like Andre, we get attacked all the time by these retards. He'll tell you we get death threats. They go crazy. They can never beat us intellectually. They can never prove us wrong.
Speaking well and talking fast does not equate intelligence. It's the same problem with Sneeko. Anytime they have a real conversation with any normal person from the black community, from the community they're criticizing, their logic does not hold up. And we saw that with academics.
A bunch of them saying like, you hate your race. You a racist. You Uncle Tom. But they can never call us liars.
Cap, y'all are liars, 100%.
Perfectly said. I said that. I just did an interview with Say Cheese, and he asked me the question, what do you say to people to call you? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, you can't say I'm wrong. You can't say that what I'm saying is not true. You act a fool everywhere you go, and no one wants to be around it. No one wants to be around behavior. Simple as that. And Myron, you've been calling out for a minute. I love it. It's great.
These people intentionally talk about a certain aspect of the black community without talking
no
about
one
the
wants
black
to be
community
like them
as a
either,
whole.
though.
Every community, every race has poor people, less educated people, and people that commit crimes against their own community. As a matter of fact, every group commits crimes against their own group more than any crime is committed against them by another group. This is not a specific thing to black people, but because they right, and there are so many overt races out here nowadays that they get followers and views for hating on the black community. They only speak about the black community.
More people speaking up on it, and that's why.
Yeah, there's not enough of us, bro. There's not enough of us. It's like, literally, bro, we're freezing to these monkeys, and these niggas get mad as fuck. They can never call us liars, though. They just can't.
Nobody gets mad about Marvin. These are two goofball, raccoon Uncle Ruckuses, Uncle Toms. Well, Marvin ain't even that, because he's not black. He's just an anti-black, Arab, racist immigrant. Andre Williams is all of those things. Uncle Ruckus, Uncle Tom, sellout, tap dancer.
You know what I mean? And that's the reality. They hate it because they know that you're not going to get reparations. No one wants to be around you, motherfuckers. No one wants to go to Atlanta. No one wants to live in your neighborhoods. Nobody... It's actually ask, not ask.
This is what I'm talking about. They don't know what they're referencing when they speak about the black community. There are tons of wealthy black areas, towns, and neighborhoods in this country with affluent and successful black people. Even with everything we're going through in this country, college graduations are up. We see more black people than ever having successful trades in their own companies, becoming lawyers and doctors. You look at places like PG County that has some of the wealthiest black neighborhoods in the country. They don't know because they're not plugged in and they have no clue what they're talking about. They can only hate on black people from these stereotypical 1990s anti-black propaganda points.
Fat women weigh about, black women weigh 187 pounds on average. They're fat as fuck. They're retarded. They're loud. They're obnoxious. Nobody wants to be with them. They rank the lowest on dating apps. These are all facts, bro. 85 IQ. It's absolutely ridiculous, bro. So it's like, you know, we're just saying what everyone else is thinking. You know what I mean?
Saying what races are thinking.
Everyone has the fatigue at this point.
Yeah, I got total fatigue. I just love the death threats where you ain't ever gonna be in a black area saying this, and I'm downtown Detroit like all the time. I'm always walking around. I go to my childhood neighbor and say what's up. So I don't know why these niggas think that I'm supposed to be fearful of you doing exactly what you do every day, shoot each other and over shoes and words.
You don't got
So
to
what
worry
make them
about
think
black
that-
people. It was white people that socked him in the mouth. It's white people calling Myron out his name every day.
I don't give a fuck. I'll keep saying it regardless of how they feel. And if you do something, you're just going to prove me right. I love saying that to them. You want to come and kill me? You're just going to be proving me right. Because people are going to say like, well, look, they killed his black ass because he said the truth. That's what they're going to say. And you're going to be worse off, nigga. So
That is not what they're going to say. That is not what anybody is going to say. How dumb does that sound? Come and kill me and prove me right. Get the out of here. These dudes are weirdos. The dumb,
A lot of
violent
people will
ghetto
say that,
worst nightmare. What? None of us are
Either
bothered by
way.
seeing two raccoons raccoon together. You're a dumb, violent ghetto. You just don't want to accept it yet. And I regret ever supporting your red pill content. Grifters like you eventually crash out. Watching that clip feels exhausting. Relying on lazy stereotypes to get a reaction doesn't make anyone look smart. It just keeps the cycle of bitterness spinning for clicks. IQ was like white capitalism BS. A joke just like Amru. I mean, we live rent-free in these heads. They look at the analytics and see what gets the most views. They're just like Al Sharp, Race Baiter. I believe all of them were gay and they have homosexual fantasies.
Right.
BBC.
Right.
And then he pointed out to this. Yeah, IQ tests are inherently flawed because they were created in a Western European context. They were eugenics tests. Imagine being bothered by grown-ass men who insult others but only on camera. These same grown-ass men are incapable of defending themselves, proven multiple times over. Facts. So says a house that wants a seat at the white table, never met a motherfucker that hates himself so much. Your illegal immigrant parents were able to have your lame ass because of the black people you talk about and want to be house.
Right.
At this point, there's nothing to even get agitated about when it comes to people like this. We know they're
That's
losers,
real.
and we know they're mad because they were never accepted by us in the first place. So they built their whole lives around hating us, lashing out, tap dancing for racists, and praying they will be accepted by white supremacists, but they never will. Crazy work. But shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting, and thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video, and don't forget.
Yeah, man, y'all be sure to go and like that, you know. I didn't mean to stumble up on it. I'm glad they wanted that. Dang, it was a 17-minute video. I wasn't expecting that, but it was good. You know, it's just crazy. You know, I really aren't bothered too much by racists and, you know, their comments, but when you think about it, or when you hear it, like it does get to you. It can, for sure. Like, like, boy, you're so wrong and you're so dumb, but then you have so much gumption to come at me like that. Like, what? What are people not liking the backrooms?
Right now, I was going to say horror movie fans, but I think a lot of the people weighing in on this have maybe never seen a movie in their life until this week or last week. It is so degenerate and just absolutely atrocious that I can't help but weigh in on it. So, most of you know, Obsession is my favorite movie of the year so far. I made a whole video just gushing grannies over it. I think it is an absolute home run. I loved every fucking scene in that film.
Obsession?
And last night I saw The Backrooms and I made a video on that, and I liked it. I thought it was a good movie and at times even a really good film. It had quite a few problems, mostly like in the second half of the film, but overall I enjoyed the film and I think it's a very solid film. However, film Twitter, and I can't even call them film Twitter because, like I said, I feel like most of them probably haven't seen a moving picture outside of TikTok before, but a lot of people that are weighing in on The Backrooms right now because maybe they saw advertisement for it and just wanted to be part of the crew, part of the ship because it was slated to be like one of the biggest movies so far this year, they went and saw it and then were disappointed, and they were saying, it's the worst movie I've ever seen. It's completely unwatchable trash, that kind of thing. And I'm not exaggerating. Tweets like this are more common than the cold right now. I blurred out the account here, but this is an account with 300-something thousand followers, and it's always blue check marks, so I guess there's always the chance that it's for engagement farming. But this individual writes, went in with an open mind because I love Backrooms content, but beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is probably the worst movie I've ever seen in theaters, and most definitely the worst film I've seen opening day. What a disappointment, lol. They then never explained what they didn't like about it, just, it was bad, can't watch it, worst thing I've ever seen in theaters. And there's nothing wrong with not liking it. I think that's totally fine, and I understand some people that are actually giving, like, a real perspective on it. But the bulk of it is just stuff like this. Oh, it's the worst thing ever made, actually. Which is just a sign of the times we live in, where something is either the best thing ever made or the worst thing ever made. There is no longer any in between. You either have to worship it and suck the fucking piss out of its balls, or you have to at all times be pooping and farting on it. It is just the worst thing ever made. There is no nuance left. I just find it so fascinating, if they're being truthful, that this actually is the worst movie they've seen. That means they've seen maybe like 4 movies in their entire fucking life. That's the only way that's possible, because objectively, this is far from even the worst movie of the last month. Like, this is, no matter how you spin it, even if you didn't like it, which again is totally fine, there are things to not like about it, there have been significantly worse movies that have come out in just the last 2 weeks. Now, of course, maybe they didn't see them, but that's why I find it so interesting, because even the big films that have come out this year, I think a good handful are worse than the Backrooms, no matter how you spin it. Like, this is probably someone that maybe just goes and sees every Marvel movie ever and just blue screens in their brain for the jingling keys. I guess that's possible. Like, I have no idea, but they preface it by saying they love Backrooms content. I just think that's a liar, liar, pants on fire moment right there, because the movie is just, I think, a more fleshed out version of the Backrooms content. And keep in mind, I'm someone that doesn't like the Backrooms. I'm a D1 hater on Backrooms. I'd find extra hours in the day just to make jokes about the Backrooms. Even though I always appreciated the work that Kane Parsons put into it, I just never got into it. And I played so many of the games as a fucking meme because the games are such dog shit. And yet, I ended up liking this film because I thought it did what the other content failed to do for me, which is get me invested in it, make me care, and actually show me some interesting things that I thought.
I want to watch it. Now I want to see it. Now I want to see this movie.
Expect the unexpected
okay,
movies by any means. They are the most, like, by the numbers, cash grab slop shit to capitalize off of a rabid fandom. It still does just flabbergast me that those 2 films are as positively received as they are, but it really shouldn't shock me when things like AI Fruit Love Island were some of the most popular videos on TikTok for months of people, like, really heavily engaging with that garbage. So, like, I guess, of course, it shouldn't be a surprise that things like Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2 also really hit with that crowd, but still, come on. And yet they have a much higher score with the audience than the Backrooms does, a movie that actually tries, and I do think succeeds in doing something different. So why is that? Especially when we look at something like Obsession, which right now is a huge, home run with critics and the audience alike. It has been going ballistic in the box office, and the word of mouth is the strongest I've ever seen for a movie in the modern age, where week over week it keeps growing, which is unprecedented. It's now over $100 million in the box office off a sub-million dollar budget. It's become a phenomenon, and now people are addicted to comparing Obsession to the Backrooms, and like trying to constantly put down the Backrooms because it's not Obsession. It's become like actual fucking sports teams now to these audience members that are fucking out there on the front lines in the trenches fighting here for no reason, because I don't think in any world is Obsession comparable to the Backrooms. They are entirely different kinds of horror films. But people can't help it, and it got me really like hooked, as it, like, I got addicted like it was fucking heroin to reading these absolute mind-numbing takes, and it became painfully clear why Obsession worked even with the modern audience zombie. And it became very obvious what the Chemical X was for Obsession. Like, Obsession, I think, is just an extraordinary movie, but there was one thing about it that really worked well with the audience, and that is, it's simple. You don't have to actually think or really directly engage with what the film is showing you. It's very simple, and in my review, I pointed that out too. The storyline for Obsession, the plot, is actually something that we've seen tons of times. Even in something like The Fairly Odd Parents with Timmy and Trixie, where he makes the wish about them being the last two people on Earth so Trixie will fall in love with him. It is a storyline you've already seen before, so you don't actually get challenged to actually think of anything, deeper, and the messaging that the film wants to deliver isn't subtle, so anyone can pick up on it and feel like this sense of pride and accomplishment, like it's a fucking EA game here, I guess, that they were able to see the message. And that is not a knock on Obsession at all, because it's by design, and I think it's very smart, and it's something I pointed out in my review. It is simple, and it uses this very simple formula to really wow. The execution is unlike most horror films out there. It is a fucking masterpiece in the way that it builds its tension, the way that it unnerves the audience, the way that it's not afraid to sit on something cringe and uncomfortable and just really make you squirm. But you see, Darman fam, I don't think anyone would consider Obsession a slow film. It's not afraid to be slow in certain scenes to really get some juice for the squeeze there and like the creepiness and the eeriness, but the film itself is always moving and something is always happening to be startling or scary or just like, that kind of feeling. The Backrooms is slow by design. It is a slow film. And it's very clear people don't want to engage super deeply with what they're seeing on the screen. The biggest complaint is that The Backrooms is boring. That they don't like that characters are just exploring without like gore and without like a ton of jump scares and without like a ton of monsters or anything like that. So they're calling it like a snooze fest for that it's too slow and saying things that make it pretty clear they weren't paying attention, where they're pointing out, like, they don't even say what happened to Clark, was one of the complaints I saw, even though it literally shows you what happened to Clark, by the way, so you had already zoned out, you completely checked out, you're probably on your phone. So people just don't want to engage too thoroughly with what they're watching. So a movie like The Backrooms being slower is going to be divisive to a modern audience. So even something like Five Nights at Freddy's isn't that divisive because people just want to go in there and get the stimulation. And Five Nights at Freddy's is always doing something. There's always something happening on screen, and all of it, the whole kit and caboodle, is bad. But it doesn't matter because it's there. The only good thing about the Five Nights at Freddy's movies are the animatronics, the actual work they did bringing those to life on the screen. It, practically, I think is very impressive, but the films themselves are fucking really not good. But the thing is, it is faster paced. So people are having more fun with that than something like The Backrooms, where things aren't always happening. There are a lot of scenes where characters are just traversing this weird, odd landscape, and there are some deeper messages in there that aren't spoon-fed to you, especially towards the end of the film. Even though the film does also spoon-feed a lot to you as well, but people didn't even bother to engage with that much, which I found very odd too. But yeah, the core of it, with all these complaints and a lot of the takes I've seen, it all ties into it's too slow for the modern audience. And there are very real complaints. Again, I want to make it clear, I totally understand why people also would find other things to not like about it. It's not a perfect film by any means, and it's something I highlighted too. But the hate bandwagon seems to be just this avalanche now. It was a snowball that's turned into an avalanche where now it's cool to hate on it. That's like the trendy thing. That's like the socially acceptable take to have on it. And its big crime was that it was slow. Thus, slow equals boring. Which I think is a real shame. And I think there's a real criticism there because, as I said in my review, there are quite a few scenes that do drag. You don't need to see him go through every single fee-fi-fo-fum down a hallway. You could definitely speed those kind of shots up. But even outside of that, a lot of the film is spent in like this found footage where they're going through here and maybe you're catching glimpses of monsters and stuff, but you're not like immediately getting like jump scared or seeing something super scary. You are going on a slow burn journey. And I actually went through and checked some other slow horror films like Hereditary, which is actually one of my favorite films ever made. It has an audience score even lower than The Backrooms at 72%. I think that movie's a masterpiece, but the thing about Hereditary, it's a slow burn. And I remember back when this first came out, a lot of people had the same complaints about that as they do right now with The Backrooms. It is very much not a secret, and it's not rocket science, and it's not hard to see that the thing people dislike the most about movies is if they're slow. Even if it's slow on purpose, even if it's slow for the sake of building this tension throughout the course of the film and trying to hopefully get you hooked on it to engage with it, people just don't want to. They would rather it just get to the point, which is a big thing I saw in a lot of the conversation around this movie.
Slow burn.
They think that it was aimless and that it was such a slog because scenes would go on where they're just walking through weird rooms. Who cares? Yawn, show me a monster. And I think that's kind of a shame. And I'm not coming in here sirens blazing as the fun police. If you didn't like the movie, you didn't like the movie. And again, that's totally fine. I just really do think it's sad that we've reached this point where a lot of people just can't sit still. And I know this has been like a big...
Yeah, that's true.
Well, this...
They can't. As I press the button. Okay. I think I want to see it.
Hi, everyone. Let me get right to the point. As I'm recording this today, it is 20 December 2023. And I'm recording this and giving Brad instructions to publish it upon my death. So if you're watching me, I'm dead. Now, a few months ago, I sat right here on this log and told you I'd been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and I told you we'd caught it early and that we were still going to be here for some time. Well, we did catch it early, but not as early as I had thought, and it has spread faster than I thought it would. You may have seen me recently using this crutch. When I told you I broke my hip, well, I did break my hip. But it wasn't because I was in any kind of accident. It was because the cancer spread to my bones, and the bones just crumbled, and my hip fractured, and I fell down. No, I didn't fall down and fracture it. I fractured and then fell down. And my time is drawing very short. So, there's some things I have to ask of you. One, for everyone who is a Patreon supporter, thank you. But don't immediately turn off your Patreon support. We have hopes that a couple of the crew, primarily my brother, are going to continue making content on this channel. So, if you haven't heard from us by next month, yes, then cancel your Patreon support. But we have hope that the channel will continue. Two, people pirate other people's material in this format, and now that I'm dead, I'm not going to be able to do much about it, and I'm sure people will pirate my material. Please, don't put money into the pockets of thieves. If you're going to watch anything I'm doing, make sure you watch it on my channel. And three, if you've been around a while, you know that there have been people who have taken it upon themselves to lie about me and denigrate my character. That Caleb guy being the biggest offender of it, but there's been others. And I've had to make some rebuttal videos and so forth. Yeah, not going to be around to do that, and I'm sure that people will take this opportunity to denigrate my character. So I would hope by now that you know me well enough to know what you should or shouldn't believe. And don't just believe whatever nonsense people tell you. Okay,
I thought he was
now
going
with
to impart
that,
some wisdom.
there's a couple other things I want to say as well. And that is, to everyone who has watched, hit the like or dislike icon, commented, shared, subscribed, and donated on Patreon, thank you. All of those things support the channel greatly, and I can't even begin to articulate how beneficial and appreciated those things are. I also would want to say that my goal in doing all of this was, yes, to have fun, do some things that were fun, but primarily to put out useful information, or if not useful, at least interesting information. And what I really hope is that as you're watching me, you've seen some things that have made you say, oh, I get it, okay. Things that have made you change something you did in such a way that has helped you. I would really hope that seeing the reviews we've done of things have saved you some money and kept you from buying things that probably wouldn't have been a good fit for you. And if those things have happened, then we've met our goal. The final thing I would want to say is my sincere apologies. I had hoped that I would continue in this format for the next 10 or even 15 years. And even once I was diagnosed, I had hoped that we'd be here 2 or 3 more years, and it's turned out to be only a few more months. And my apologies for that. It really makes me feel like I've let everybody down. So, there's not much more to say than that. So, I guess the final line, I have not really rehearsed this, is I'm really glad to have had this opportunity to do all of the stuff that we've done. I really hope that it's been helpful. I really appreciate you watching, commenting, and participating. And I have probably very few regrets in what we've done here. I think we've been, for the most part, successful. I hope you agree. So, as always, don't try this at home, and thanks for watching.
I am heartbroken to announce that what you heard is true. Paul Harrell has passed away. It was his wish that I maintain his legacy through this channel by continuing to put out high-quality educational content
Pop-Tarts
with the
and
flair we all
pistols.
know and love from him. I ask that you give the crew and myself some time to process the death of my brother and find the best way to honor his memory. I thank everyone in advance for your patience and understanding, and we will get channel updates as we move through this together. I would ask everyone to keep any personal politics or religious beliefs out of any postings regarding Paul on any of our social media. In keeping with Paul's mystery, I cannot tell you what his beliefs were or where he ended up. All I can tell you is that he is now where a man belongs and will remain an inspiration to us all. Thank you.
Some of you know me, but many of you don't. My name is Brad Nelson, and I've been Paul's editor slash post-production guy slash manager for many years now, ever since his channel was very small. I had the great privilege of having Paul in my life and having him as a friend. He's a very generous and kind guy, and he told the best campfire stories. He's positively influenced many people's lives, including my own, and I'm very grateful for that. We are going to be continuing his legacy by uploading videos on this channel eventually, and continuing to educate people the way that Paul did. But you can continue his legacy as well by sharing your knowledge with other people and your enthusiasm for firearms and the outdoors, and just by being curious and striving to learn new things.
Are they still posting videos? Okay, post something 2 weeks ago. Okay, Paul.
Welcome out to the range. Today we're talking about accuracy versus marksmanship versus shot placement. Is there a difference? If so, what are the differences? And does any of it really matter out in the world? But before we get there, I was recently mugged by 6 of Snow Wife's dwarfs. Not happy. Ba-dum-ba-dum. We got our Paul's hat and on.
Okay. So he was the main one.
A fair amount, not a great deal, but a fair amount of hunting. Birds, rabbits, deer, elk, buffalo.
Oh.
I've also been...
Okay. All right, I'm sorry about that. It's tough. Sound like a sad moment, man. You know? That was a hell of a video to come across all of us. Right. Right.
Oops.
Watch out, watch out, watch out! His name is John Cena!
secure. Hey, that's good. That's a good one though. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Hey, he killed it with that Ace Ventura though, boy. Yeah, that Jim Carrey one was it, boy. Right. That Mr. Bean one was good with the face and everything. Keanu Reeves one. Oh yeah, this is dope. This is actually really good.
Oops. Watch out, watch out, watch out! And his name is John Cena!
It was cool. What?
Change the world, boys. You and I together are gonna change this fucking world one way or another. We're gonna leave this place better than we found it. Even if it's just.
I've just come out of the hospital. My mum don't drive yet. All right. They've just basically told me that it's inoperable now. Surgery didn't work. No one knows how long I've got left now. And that's that. This is probably going to be the hardest video I've ever.
Is he still alive making videos? So 7 years ago. That's crazy. Well, my algorithm got me up. Jeez, man. His whole channel was about it. So it started all in a year. Like he was just posting a lot all in 1 year or in 2 years, I guess. A year or 2 years. In the span of 2 years.
God, the Holy Trinity, make you strong in faith and love, defend you on every side, and lead you in the way of peace. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be with you and with all that you love today and always. Amen.
Dang, that's tough, man. Oh, man.
Hi, we're standing in the sun, smiling, funnily enough.
Smiling, yes.
You might think that that's really odd because everybody knows what today is. It's the anniversary of Dan's passing. But we just wanted to celebrate the joy and the fun and the craziness of Dan.
Yeah, today's a different day for us, but as Martin said, one to be celebrated.
Filming just as I fell down the actual cliff.
Just, you've got to pan to me though.
Hi, I'm here with Matt from The Joy Formidable. Bricks. Hi, my name's Dan and welcome to my vlog PB Toms. In 3 minutes time, you're going to have heard my top 5 ways to support yourself when you're going through cancer. Number 1 is... I've forgotten. I don't know where I'm looking. I don't actually know where I'm looking. Gosh. Everyone, thank you so much. If you've not been here before, please
Okay. It's like, you know, you be up too late. You gotta stop showing me that show.
Hey, what can I say to you? He wants me. Fine, we're having a good time. Enjoying ourselves very much. And had a good dinner, too.
This is the happiest day of my life. The first 100 years is the hardest, but I'm sure it is some consolation. I had rather live in California under an oak tree than any other climate.
Happy birthday. Many happy years to you, Grandma.
Mom, it's your 100th birthday. Oh, it's certainly wonderful. Now, are you feeling fit for a waltz, are you? Fine, let's waltz. Thank you. Broadway is the most remarkable and picturesque street in the world. I have known Broadway for over 50 years. I was a youngster employed in the office of a new illustrated evening paper. It was a sensation.
Mr. Cole, what kind of parents did you have?
My father and grandfather were Baptist ministers. My grandmother and mother were members of the Baptist church.
What kind of an environment was you raised in?
Well, I lived with my father in different places where he was preaching and tried to be a good boy.
How much of an education did you have?
Public schools in the different towns, academy, and seminary.
What habits have you formed?
I never drank anything, and I don't smoke, no chew. I haven't any bad habits.
What are your politics?
Republican now. It used to be before the Republican Party. Whig. Voted the Whig ticket.
What kind of a world would you have if you could have it the way you want it?
I would have people honest with each other and do away with their bad habits if they have any. And I guess that's all.
What is your outlook for the future?
I don't worry about the future. I'm going to live as long as I can, and I'm happy in living.
May there be no mourning of the bar when you put out to sea. Arise, my soul.
Arise.
That's all. We'll take the platform now.
Hello, folks. How you feeling? Good this morning? Hope you do. I'm trying to get on my feet again. Feel pretty good. Thankful it's as well as it is. Oh, boys, I'm pleased to see you. I don't know where you come from, but I give you all the welcome I've got to offer you. And I want to tell you that I'm living on the same ground that I've lived on for 75 long years when I come here as an 18-year-old bride. I went to Washington 50 years and a little more ago. I saw all the people around there and been with the presidents. And I learned a great many things up there that I didn't know before. I'll add a little more to it. I was one of the board of lady managers for the Chicago Exposition. And I served my full time in Chicago and learned a good many things over there. I was a delegate to the Tennessee Centennial Exposition. I was a delegate to St. Louis, a juror at St. Louis. I think for a North Georgia cracker of my size and age, I've had a pretty good education on that line. That do all right? I was a 3-year-old girl when the Indians were moved from this country to Indian Territory. I have an indistinct recollection of seeing the red men as they went through the woods, for everything was woods nearly at that time. I have a distinct impression, if a 3-year-old child can have it. Nevertheless, I've been here since that time, and I've seen the march of progress all the way. At that time, we had only stagecoaches, and we only had horses and buggies, and we had lots of footback travelers, usually. Now I've seen it come along all this way, and the airplane goes over my house going on its way, and it's got to be such a common thing, the old girl don't go even out to see if she can look at it.
Man, what?
I was born in Pumpkin Plains, Morris County, New Jersey, July the 27th, 1829, and was was brought by my parents to New York City the following year.
No.
You get up near I wonder when the war.
1929.
You get up near I wonder when the war began. Fine and still. Same to you, boy. Goodbye. Goodbye, my boy. Where do you want me to speak? Right here, John. Right here.
So 100 years ago, roughly? About 100 years ago?
My name is John M. Riley. I was born in Valley Falls, Rhode Island, November the 16th, 1859. I entered railroad life as a newsboy in 1874 on the New Haven Railroad. In 1878, I became a yard switchman. The days of the pin and link coupling and the hand brake. I became a fireman in 1881. I've been an engineer
1881.
for 42 years. And as this is my last run, I must all bid you goodbye.
1881.
Goodbye, John. Goodbye, John. Goodbye, John.
What do my algorithm be showing me? Oh my goodness.
Remarkable gentleman with me this morning has probably made more people laugh without being seen than anyone else I know. His name is Mel Blanc, and if that doesn't quickly ring a bell, let me add that Mel Blanc has been and is the voice of such characters as Bugs Bunny,
I wasn't even
Porky
born
Pig,
yet.
Elmer Fudd, Pepe Le Pew, Speedy Gonzales, and dozens and dozens and dozens of other characters. Good morning. I cannot tell you what a great pleasure it is to meet you, having heard you and been delighted by you all of my life.
Hey, thanks very much, Gene. Nice to have you say that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Mel couldn't be with us today, but a number of other people have. For instance, Tweety Bird is with us today.
Ooh, I thought I saw a putty cat. I did see a putty cat.
And that pretty cat was probably Sylvester.
Oh, fluffer fucking tat, you buddy. Oh, putty tat.
Then there was Daffy Duck.
Oh, Daffy is sort of a crazy little bird that says that Bugs Bunny is despicable.
Roadrunner I loved always.
Oh, all Roadrunner says is meat, 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 meat.
And then another chicken from the South, no doubt, Foghorn Leghorn.
Pay attention, Gene. You know what? A foghorn, you looking for chicken? See that little house says D-O-G? That spells chicken. Go get 'em, boy.
And Speedy Gonzales.
Oh, Speedy Gonzales, fresh muscle, Mexico. Texas, when can't give it to the mice. I think talk fast, too. Epa, epa, hija, ándale.
Hey.
Who didn't love Yosemite Sam?
Yosemite Sam's one of my favorites, too. Shoots gumdrops.
Everybody's laughing in the studio because you're wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, the little French skunk. It says the pussycat and catch it and kiss her.
Elmer Fudd.
Oh, well, I'm looking for rabbits.
He did all of their voice.
And the rabbit
Goodness
he was
gracious.
looking for was the most famous of all characters, Bugs Bunny.
Hey, thanks very much, Doc. I'm glad you like him, too.
And
it's crazy.
Porky Pig.
Porky Pig is a very timid little hog.
Wow.
Mel, you not only do the voices, but you create the voices
That's right.
Somebody
Jim.
would just give you a character, and you have to decide how it sounded and then do it.
Yeah, first they show me a picture, a still picture of the character. Then they show me what they call a storyboard, what is going to happen in the cartoon. From this, I have to create a voice.
And when you first saw Bugs Bunny?
They said he was a tough little stinker. So I thought, well, what's the toughest voice in this country, the Brooklyn or the Bronx?
But he had two big teeth coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, I know. I made a mistake and had him talk like that at first. You couldn't understand what he was talking about. So we took the teeth effect away and just made a regular rabbit out of him. He's a mixture of Brooklyn and the Bronx together.
Why do you think he became so famous and so popular?
Well, I think the reason is that people would like to do what he does, but they don't have crust enough to do it.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Not only were you famous for all your voices in cartoons, but you're also on some of the most famous of all comedy shows. None more so than Jack Benny's show, in which you were not only 100,000 different characters, including Mr. Kitzel, but...
No, not Mr. Kitzel. That was Artie Yarback.
But you were the car.
Oh, the Maxwell,
The Maxwell.
Yes.
Now, that is one of the most famous of all. Can you show us what happened when Jack went to get his Maxwell and started? Well, if Jack couldn't get in the car, and he had to go to a place like Cucamonga, then he had to take the train. So when he got to the station in Los Angeles, what was he likely to hear?
Train leaving on track 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
Everybody beats me at Cucamonga.
Now, you are here in New York.
Shout out to
you have a new
Glendora.
movie coming out, a great new Bugs
It's San
Bunny movie. It's
Bernardino.
the third one, and it is called
Bugs Bunny's third movie, or 1001 Rabbit Tales.
Now, are these a lot of our favorite cartoons?
Oh yes, all ages will love them. You know, it's a very crazy cartoon.
He has a great voice.
As I say, all ages will go for it.
Have you
His
added
normal
new,
voice is good.
Dialogue
Yes.
in any way?
Yes. In fact, it took us about a year to get all the new dialogue and fill in, and you never tell when it blends into another picture. It's so well done.
Why aren't there cartoons in movies anymore?
I don't know, because it took 125 people 9 months to make one 6.5-minute cartoon, and even then it cost around $50,000.
Is the talent still there if they wanted to resume?
Well, if you call me talent, yes.
You are.
Nowadays, it would cost around $500,000 to make the same picture.
To make a Bugs Bunny cartoon?
Yeah.
$500,000?
Yeah, that's right, sure.
That is a lot of carrots.
Warner Brothers won't do anything but full animation. And for this, the modern things you see nowadays are limited animation. You see the eyes blink and the mouth move a little bit and the background is on a turntable. But Warner's won't do that. They just make straight full animation. Every frame is drawn.
And that's why the new Warner's picture, 1001 Rabbit Tales, is so much fun.
That's right. I think you'll get a kick out of it. You going to see it?
You betcha I'm going to see it.
Good.
Once, many times.
Good.
There is a wonderful way that Mel Blanc says goodbye.
And that's all, folks.
Wow. That was dope.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today.
Shout out to that. That was cool to pop up in my algorithm. Dang. Yeah, man, real voice actors, bro. Real voice actors. People who actually know how to play with their voice. Man. I did not know he did all those voices like that. And he looked old, yeah. He looked so old. He was 74. Jeez. He died in 89. So that was, 8 years he had? 7 years. Dang. That man is the reason why we all had an awesome childhood. That is real. Wow. That's incredible. Said Gene Shaw just turned the host just turned 100 2 days ago. Goodness, man. Goodness.
He's the first multi-voice superstar in the voice.
In 1961, Blank was nearly killed in a head-on auto collision. Later, recuperating, he recorded his voices from his hospital bed with other artists like Alan Reed. But this followed 21 days in a coma, with no sign of returning to consciousness until returning to consciousness. 21 days in a coma, with no sign of returning to consciousness until...
Where I had a brain specialist would come in to see me every day that I was unconscious. And he would say, how you feeling today, Mel? I wouldn't answer him. But he got an idea. And one day he came in and he says, hey, Bugs Bunny, how are you? And I answered him. He said, just fine, Doc, how are you? Now, this sounds like a real fish story, but it's true because my wife and son were there. Noel and Estelle, they watched, actually, me come out of my coma and talk like Bugs Bunny.
In 1960,
wild. Wild. Oh, look at this. Oh, wow. Look at this. He gave his characters life, and so they returned the favor. Whoa. That is a beautiful comment. Whoa. Wow. Yo, that's such a great way to put that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was great. Oh, that's the best that's the best comment I've ever read about something. Oh man. Yeah, look at that. Well spoken. Yeah. Wow. Wow, that is so cool.
And one day he came in and he says, hey, Bugs Bunny, how are you? And I answered him. He said, just fine, Doc, how are you? Now, this sounds like a real fish story, but it's true because my wife and son were there. Noel and Estelle, they watched, actually, me come out of my coma and talk like Bugs Bunny.
In 1961, Blank was nearly...
Jeez. Okay.
It's a voice rarely heard, the voice of a formerly enslaved person. Few know that in the decades following emancipation, interviews were done in an effort to preserve their stories. And in tonight's Prime Focus, you'll hear some of what they said as part of our partnership with the 10 Million Names Project. ABC's Alex Brochet brings us their stories in their words.
I want you to tell me how you got your name. I got my name from President Jeff Davis. He was president of the Southern Confederacy. He owned my grandfather and my father. My grandfather was a blacksmith, and my father had learned how to write a little bit in Richmond, Virginia before he brought him down there.
You're listening to the voice of a formerly enslaved American, a man by the name of George Johnson. This rare and historic audio interview was recorded in 1941, almost 80 years after Mr. Johnson gained his freedom. He and his family worked on a plantation in Virginia owned by Confederate leader Jefferson Davis, a staunch opponent of abolition. In the interview, Johnson recalls a day in the life as an enslaved person.
Did they drive the slaves down there in Davis' Bend very hard, or did they work them reasonable? Reasonable. You know, Marshal Joe gave myself another boy. And boy was chopping cotton. Boy didn't kill with the gang, you understand? He come to hook the boy kill, you understand? That's the house of Marshal Joe boy. Yeah, that's what's the trouble, son. Say, Mr. Don't hook me, because I would kill with the gang in it.
Audio tape interviews like this are striking and uncommon, but are actually part of a long legacy of black families, communities, and institutions, including historically black colleges and universities, that lead the way in collecting and preserving the oral histories of the formerly enslaved people in the 19th and 20th centuries. In the 1930s and beyond, technology allowed some of these interviews to be recorded as part of both federal and independent projects. The details are often difficult to hear, but they remind us this history happened not too long ago, with names, faces, and stories. Do we know roughly how many of these recordings exist?
The recordings are relatively rare, but the recordings come from a much larger and really important and in many ways unsung collecting effort that took place. In terms of audio technology, most of it was not recorded by audio because the technology didn't exist, or at least in any kind of widespread accessible way when most of those were conducted. So it's really just a handful of audio recordings we have.
In 1974, a woman named Celia Black, at the age of 114 years old, and shortly before her death, recalled picking cotton in Texas as a child born into slavery.
I didn't have to pick cotton or nothing. I've been doing nothing but working the field. Working the field, oh goodness. Me and my husband would go out west and pick cotton. Go out west every year. We've been this year going out there picking cotton.
One of the things that kind of struck me, when you have an interview recorded in 1974, for some black Americans, I mean, they're one generation removed from slavery.
In some ways, we think of slavery as ancient history. We think of it as something that happened a very long time ago to people we couldn't possibly have known. I was 6, 7 years old in 1974. So it's kind of amazing that we were alive at the same time. I was alive at the same time who was someone who had been born enslaved.
Alex Haley's Roots premiered on ABC just 3 years after this interview with Celia Black.
What's your name?
Kunta. I know that's right.
Kunta Kinte.
Yeah, it is.
Alex Haley came into his work, Roots, what became Roots, really, through his grandmother's stories. So we're really talking about oftentimes great-grandparents at this point in the 70s.
Dr. Kendra Field, chief historian of the 10 Million Names Project, and Harvard professor Vincent Brown explained how these recordings illustrate an enormous preservation effort. The first-hand accounts shedding light on the darkest chapters in our American history, yet also revealing incredible African-American strength and survival.
Didn't you have some entertainment doing a dancing or anything?
Oh, I used to dance, but I don't do it now. No, I don't dance now. I try my best to serve my master. I'm trying my best to serve my Heavenly Father.
You hear these recordings. What were the emotions when you hear, the recollections of a Celia Black?
First is just the miracle of her survival. It's just that I'm actually hearing this person who had been enslaved. That's kind of a miracle.
Celia Black was alive when Abraham Lincoln was president and lived to see the resignation of President Richard Nixon.
Oh, man. You remember Abraham Lincoln, President? Oh, well, they gave him a good name. Oh, Abraham Lincoln. They thought Abraham was they thought, everybody thought Abraham was the best president there was.
In a similar effort to preserve this history and legacy, the 10 Million Names Project is a moonshot endeavor that aims to use the power of ancestry research to identify the names of the 10 million men, women, and children who were enslaved in the territory that became the United States. The goal is to put names and faces on this vital history.
It's incredible.
Not only to give the enslaved the dignity they deserve, but to connect those living today with their family's story. With the help of the 10 Million Names genealogist, we were able to find the direct descendants of Celia Black. In Rhode Island, we met 68-year-old Curtis Royal, who spent time with her as a young man.
She's my great-grandmother from my mother's side of the family.
Do you remember any of the stories that she would tell?
She told us about how difficult it was, you know, just being alive during that period. And of course, she would tell us a story about the big ox that they had. They had two of them, and how her father would set her right on the head of the ox, and she would just hold on with the.
That's so crazy. Got a story like that. I got a story like that of my uncle. They said when I was a kid, and they was on this farm in near our land in Alabama, our property in Alabama. It's like he had some bulls out there, and they tried to put me on one of the bulls. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy saying that, cause my great grandfather was a slave, but he was able to get his freedom. But not only was he able to get his freedom, and he also got a lot of land, a few hundred acres at that, and that's been passed down. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I be like, I got land, man, I'm a landowner for real, man. A real landowner, hundreds of acres. Okay, anyway, that's cool though. That's cool.
With the horns. So those are, as a boy, those are fascinating. You say, wow.
My grandfather had some big old oxen. He had one with a big wide horn. Oh, it looked like a house. Wide horns. And I used to sit up there and tween them horns. And then his name was Coley. And the other one was named Left.
Was it ever difficult to talk about slavery?
Yes, and I think what made it so difficult is it just realizing, how emotional it was and what they went through. You try to put yourself into their physical being and to understand what they went through, and it is scary.
You've heard the recording of your great-grandmother in 1974.
It was very challenging for me to hear when they asked her the question about what it was like working in the fields, the heat in Texas, the humidity, and, sometimes 105, 110 degrees. And I just can't fathom waking up, sun up to sundown, working in the fields. How do they do it? How did they do it?
You learn about slavery in America, and I think especially being a Black American, the initial emotion is anger.
There's the history of slavery as an institution, which was all about oppressing people. And that's a very dark history that I think should make us angry. But then there's an African-American history of survival through and beyond that institution.
Yeah.
And that's kind of amazing.
And it's pride.
To hear people, accepting that I lived this life, it was incredibly hard, and I'm still here, and that I've survived, and I've got children, and I've passed on some kind of legacy.
How does who's conducting these interviews and how they're conducting these interviews, how does that matter?
Oh, I mean, it's enormously important. For the WPA interviews in general, the vast majority are white interviewers. Some are the children of the former slave owners, in fact, that are interviewing a former slave, right, of that same family.
But everywhere, slavery was a system for allocating status. And slaves and ex-slaves were supposed to be low-status people. And so when they were talking to people who they perceived to be of higher status, they had to be very careful about what they said, right? Because those people could determine their fate.
While many of the audio recordings don't reflect it, slaves were frequently subjected to heinous forms of abuse, including beatings, sexual assault, and forms of torture. The historic 10 Million Names Project, in which ABC News is the exclusive media partner, is an ancestry database that the public can access, add information to, and use as a research tool. And because so little information about enslaved people was officially documented, amassing this data is a huge task.
We encourage anyone that wants to get involved to reach out, to go to the website and to be part of that project.
Who stands the most to gain from hearing these? I mean, is it Black folk? Is it younger Black folk? Is it white America? Is it Americans as a whole?
We're
Everybody.
going to understand anything about freedom. We're going to have to understand the people who were denied that freedom.
I mean, while very few of us will have the opportunity of hearing our ancestors' voices on tape, the 10 Million Names Project hopes that one day all Black Americans will have the chance to know their ancestors' names and stories the way that Curtis knows Celia.
You had the chance to know your great-grandmother.
Yes.
How powerful is it being able to connect that dot?
It's extremely powerful. You got to hear it from her directly. Not something that was passed on, but to hear it directly from her pain.
Our thanks to Alex Prochet for that. And for more ancestry stories and information about the 10 Million Names Project, scan the QR code on the screen to visit our...
That was remarkable. Did you see that?
It's a voice rarely heard, the voice of a formerly enslaved person. Few know that it...
I don't quite remember now when we did meet. I've been knowing you so long.
I know it is.
That was an actor. Oh. So he was. So that's the dude from Amen. He is him. Whoa.
A long time, that's right.
A lot, but
I've still got the record, though, of you doing the song Gossip, Gossip, Evil Thing.
You
that
got
you
that?
gave me the first time you came here, yes.
Is that so?
I've still got that record,
Well,
yes.
then that's a long time ago.
It has been
My
a long time
goodness.
ago.
I don't know whether I was still in college or after college.
No, it was after college.
After college.
Yeah,
And I finished
but it was
in
before you started doing the Old Deacon and Amen.
Oh my, yeah, because
yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew you long before
Oh
then.
yeah, that's right.
I finished college in 1929.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been fairly young then. I would have still been 16.
You were?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was after that.
It was long after that.
Yeah, long after that, because I went to school.
I think it really was after the Second World War when I came
after
home.
the Second World War,
that we met,
yeah,
but it was soon after that.
Yeah.
He looked like he's swole too.
Come back to this plantation.
Well, this is my first time here at this plantation, and I was just trying to ask Peter some questions about this because I never saw it before, and here I am trying to.
Oh, Jester, you stayed here once before.
I did?
Yes, you did. You used to tease me about taking my bed because you came to Knoxville to conduct a choir. You were having some sort of a symposium or something down in at Pfeiffer College, and you came to Lexington,
I
and then you came back here and stayed with me here.
Stayed with you there?
Yeah, but you've been here before that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'd forgotten it, you see.
Well, okay.
Now, that's good for someone.
We have to make people remember when they
remember
get
like that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's right.
Because this looked like the first time I've ever seen such a beautiful thing. And I was thinking, here I am on an old plantation of the Hairstons that it used to own my grandparents.
That's
see.
right.
And all my on my father's side, the Hairstons, they all grew up here along with Squire, like
That's right.
before Squire's time, but they were all part of this plantation.
Well,
he doesn't make you call them Harston.
No, they were Harston, but I grew up in Pennsylvania, where we said Hairston.
The Yankees taught him wrong how to mispronounce it.
Yeah, yeah. We were called up in Pennsylvania. I grew up in a little town outside of Pittsburgh called Homestead, Pennsylvania, and that's when I was in first and second grade, all up there in that little town in Homestead, and we said Hairston up there, you see, like Yankees. But I didn't know the Houston name. My mother used to say Houstons when she tell us about her husband, you know,
That's right.
Louis Houston, and she used to talk about we were Houstons.
Well, you know, yesterday we found some of your cousins over at Blues Creek.
Yeah, over there at Blues Creek.
Where you were born.
Yeah, I was born there.
Well, I'm glad you were born there in North Carolina. Then we can really claim you. So
Yeah, I was
that's
born.
all right.
Born in North Carolina on July the 9th, 1901.
1901.
Was it yesterday we went up there?
Yeah.
Yesterday we went up there, and that's the first that I knew of my old hometown where I was born.
Boy, imagine that whole first decade, like how we just got finished saying 20, like 2010, 2011, or we were saying 2011, 20, or 2002. I think then we were saying like 2004 or 04, 05. But he said 1901. What?
The 9th, 1901. And was it yesterday we went up there?
Yeah.
Yesterday we went up there, and that's the first that I knew of my old hometown where I was born in 1901, July the 9th. That's a long time ago. That make me this coming July the 9th, I'll be 92 years old.
I tell you what, to watch what you can do out there and direct all those 75 people, that's something.
Well, the amazing one to me is that, what was it, last year, the year before, you went to Riga and conducted a chorus of 25,000 people from all over Europe.
Russia.
That
Yeah,
was
I
in Russia. Well, Riga's in Russia.
Estonia.
That's right.
I was in Estonia, and I went with a man whose name everybody knows all over the country, Dr. Schuler, Robert Schuler. He's a minister out in California, and he and I have been together. I've been with him for 16 years, conducting his choir at his church. They all know me just like a member of the family. And he told me about this job, wanted to go overseas, and I don't know which one decided to bring me over. But anyway, they wanted me to conduct this choir over. It was a universal choir of all nations all over the world. Didn't come from any one country, all countries. Spoke different languages, and I had charge of all of them. There were 25,000 in the choir, and the audience was 280,000. That's more people than any stadium in the United States can hold. 280,000. You can't name a stadium in this country that holds that many people. Yankees, from Yankee Stadium all over the country.
Well, there's another story about Jester that is, to me, one of the really amazing ones. Some years ago, he developed a chorus to take to China in order to explain spirituals to the Chinese people. He took 6 months at the University of Southern California and learned enough Mandarin Chinese to address the Chinese in their own language.
I know
that.
That's
I think
right.
is amazing.
That's right.
Yeah, I
That's
wanted to
a
be.
true story. Now.
Yeah,
That's right. I
but
wanted
that's
to
what you
find
do,
out.
yeah.
I wanted to say something to the people. The conductor with whom I went to China was Bill Hall. Is today Sunday?
Yep, today's Sunday.
Well, today they're having a big performance about him with his with
really?
him, and I called him and let him know that I couldn't come today because I was coming down here.
Well, we're
But
glad
that's
you
what
got here.
I changed that. I was supposed to be there with him today because this is a big anniversary of his, and He's a very, very fine musician. But I went with his choir to China, and he knew. I told him I wanted. Well, I went over to conduct his choir, singing some of my songs, and so I went to the University of Pittsburgh, University of California, and told them that I wanted to. I wrote my speech out that I wanted to talk to the Chinese, and I told him. I told the man at the university, I wanted to learn how to say this speech in Chinese. I don't want to learn how to speak the whole Chinese language, but I want to learn how to say this speech. And they taught me how to say that speech. And when we got to China, on the day that we did it, it was so cute. Bill got up there and through an interpreter, he told the audience that I was going to be with the guest conductor in his choir and so forth. And so when he announced me, I give you Jester Hairston, and I walked out and bowed to the people and went into Chinese. And you should have seen them.
I would be surprised myself.
As black as I was talking
Right,
Chinese,
right,
and they knew it. They said, "Oh my, he's a soul brother. He's a soul brother."
That's all right.
Everybody was tickled to death. And the choir just fell apart. They said, "Oh no, they never heard that." So I had a good time.
That I think, yeah. Well, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Judge Hairston, Harston, have you followed Jester's career over the years? How much have you known about what he was doing?
Right much. I keep track of him better than he thinks I do.
I was doing this when I met him.
I tell you, the first thing I ever heard about him was that he wrote all the incidental music to Amos and Andy. And of course, I'm old enough to remember Amos and Andy. Probably you're not, but I am. And I have ever since then. That's been quite a while ago. That's right. But ever since then, I've known about him. And as I say, I knew about him mainly. It was in the 40s, I think, when he got up with my brother. And then I guess it was the 50s before I really met Jester.
Yeah.
But he's an interesting person.
I tell you what, people might enjoy hearing about.
I think we probably have told them all by now.
Yeah,
I think we've covered the waterfront.
We have told them all. But we've been highly interested in each other because we had such a varied life, you see.
Yeah,
we were so far apart from each other. Here he was living up here in comfort and so forth, and I was just on the opposite side where I had to struggle all through my life. And I grew up in a little town 7 miles from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, called Homestead, Pennsylvania. And it was a very prejudiced town, and so I had to fight that prejudice all my life and through school and so forth. But it didn't make me angry. It just made me, I guess, more determined to make a success of my life.
Yeah.
It was part of my growing up, and I wasn't angry one bit with the prejudice that I entertained there, because I had many friends, many white friends, all white friends, and I went to school there, and then I was athletic, as small as I am. I was very, very, very good in basketball and football. So when I graduated from high school in a little town outside of Pittsburgh,
you know, the Bugsy Moses,
say it again.
The Bugsy of his days.
Say it
There's a little basketball player over at Wake Forest. It's about this
little
big.
town 7 miles outside of Pittsburgh.
Hornets in Charlotte.
Called Homestead.
Is that so?
Yeah, you're the Bugsy of your day.
Well,
I tease him all the time. It's all right. He teases me, so we get even.
Yeah.
Muggsy Bowes.
The basketball player.
Bowes.
Short little
Well,
Muggsy.
I was athletic, and when I was in high school, when I finished high school, before I finished high school, I made quarterback of the football team, and I didn't weigh but 130 pounds. It was quarterback. but I was the best athlete that they had, you see. In those days, you call signals and get the heck out of the road if you were little. And that's what we did. Because all three of the backs were white. Well, I was the only black on the school, on the choir, the football team. And then when I went away to school, but I wanted to go to the University of Pittsburgh. That's the first time I ran into prejudice that I knew something about. I didn't know anything about it, but it hit me. After I graduated from high school, I wanted to be like the rest of my friends who were all white, go to Pittsburgh. And then I found out Pittsburgh wouldn't permit blacks to take part in any athletics at all. You could go, all right, because it was a state school, but you couldn't take part. And my teacher was insulted at that remark, and he was white, and he wrote to the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, almost 700 miles or something north. And they said, yeah, if he's that good, he told them about my playing basketball and football, and that I was small. They said, bring him up here, send him up here, we'll take him. We don't care what color he is. And they sent me to Amherst, Massachusetts. Didn't know a thing. That's 700 and some miles from Pittsburgh. And that's where my schooling started, at Amherst, Massachusetts. It was at the University of Massachusetts, not Amherst College. Amherst College was a wealthy school in the same town, but I went to the University of Massachusetts there and made quarterback on a football team in college in 1920.
1920.
That's a long time ago.
He was 19. Even then, it's over 100 years ago, bro. Oh, that's such a cool shot. Just two old men talking. Beautiful Southern country day. That's cool, man. Man, that's a beautiful shot. It's a beautiful scene. Oh, he laughing. Such a good, healthy, young laugh. Oh, that's so cool, man.
Senator Easton has never done nothing for nobody poor. Not in this county.
I know that's right, Fannie Lou. Hamer, she didn't play that. She was not playing no games. Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Have you traveled a lot?
Yes.
Could you live anywhere else?
Sure.
Do you think this is a cultural center?
No more or less than any other big city.
Do you like how the art market is set up here?
How is it set up here?
How is it set up here? You could tell us more about it. Like who makes the decisions? The artists or their marchands?
What kind of question, baby?
Which decisions?
decisions on the work that you make? Like what you have to paint or not, or how you should paint it, or where it's exhibited or not? In your case, for example.
I don't know how to answer that question.
Where do you think your work is most liked? In the United States or in Europe? Or most understood?
I don't know how to answer such an ultimatum because I think there's people that like my work everywhere. So for me to say, you know, it's liked more one place than another is sort of, you know, I don't know how to answer that either.
Yeah, these questions
No,
are
but that's
ass.
fine. You say it's liked everywhere. That's great. Fantastic. And your own style, where do you think it comes from?
It's a Creole, I guess, of Europe and Africa. What I mean by Creole is, I mean a mix. The way that Africans speak French in Haiti, I mean, that's what I mean.
And have you had, like, idols or artists that you like very much their work that you think maybe might have influenced you?
I guess Charlie Parker. Charlie Parker.
What do you think about abstraction? Does it have anything to do with your work?
Yeah, in some parts, yeah. Abstraction's a good, if it wasn't for, you know, abstraction's a good thing, or else we'd still be in the Renaissance.
He understands art. For real, for real. Of course he does. But
What role do you think pop art has played in general in the development of art?
Pop art is as important as Dada is.
Do you feel you're like a son of pop art?
No.
Do you feel your work has any relation with it?
No, none at all.
Do you know of any other work that's done in Europe, in Germany, or the Italians, or people like Miguel Barceló? He's from Barcelona.
Do I know his work? Yes, yes I do, of course.
And what do you think in general about what's coming out of Europe?
You know, some good and some bad. Of course, there's a lot more bad than good. But the same is true with America.
Do you think experience is important for a person?
You mean life experience?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Are your paintings based on concrete experiences or in general?
Yeah, I'd have to say my experience does have something to do with what I paint.
Back to the previous question, what would you like to happen to you tomorrow, all of a sudden?
That question is sort of fantasy-oriented. It's very hard for me to answer it.
Well, then let's go back to art or painting in general. Do you think it's possible to bluff in painting?
It's definitely been done. It's been done, yeah.
Are you happy with your present situation?
He always looked like he be having something else he want to say, but then he just.
Are you happy with your present situation?
And then the questions.
Are you happy with your present situation?
Some parts of it.
What would you like to change? Or what is it you're happy with and what is it that you're not and you'd like to change?
Actually, I have to say that I'm happy that I can do what I want to do and survive doing that.
But you'd like something else?
I don't make wishes. You know, it's hard for me to.
Disappointed on the one that says.
You know, I don't wish for what I want.
Do you enjoy while you're painting?
Yeah, sure.
How many hours a day do you work?
Off and on all day.
Could you imagine yourself painting every single minute of life, like every single moment?
No.
When did you feel you were a painter for the first time?
When I was about 18 years old.
What does Andy Warhol mean for you, or mean to you?
He's an important artist.
And in general, but more personally?
He's a good friend.
What are you working on right now?
2,000 drawings.
Everything that we see here now?
No, so just the paintings are out now, but just stuff, I guess. Yeah.
Are these all finished? Or are you working on them?
Some of them are.
And how is your art usually sold? In exhibits? People come and...
No, I have paintings to her and she sells them.
How important is money for you?
Oh, very important.
Like, how important?
Well, I've been completely without it before, so I know how important it is.
Does it give you freedom?
Yeah, I'd say it's the closest thing to freedom.
And when you paint, do you kind of have a mental vision of what you're going to do before you actually go down and do it? Or does it kind of come out?
Not at all. I do it as I go along.
Do you feel comfortable with people?
Some people. I mean, yeah, you know. These questions, they're like, you know, I don't know, you know, do you wish you had feet or you wish you didn't have feet? Or, you know, how would you live without a head? I mean, they're very strange. You know? You know, to ask me if I feel comfortable with people or not. I mean, I don't know how to answer, you know, because I feel comfortable with some people and don't feel comfortable with others, you know. And I don't know. It's as if people were one thing, you know, and I don't see it that way. It's all people being, you know, one thing. And you know, and I'm another thing, you know. There's me and there's people. I don't see it that way.
Because there's like some people who like to be alone most of the time, and people around.
Well, I do like to be alone most of the time, but I don't mind people, you know. I prefer to be alone most of the time.
And I guess you don't like interviews that much either.
Well, they're difficult.
So it's really you at last. How are you?
I'm pretty tired. It's been recording so much, you know.
You're tired now?
Yeah, I haven't had a sleep in about all night. You know, I've been working on the last LP.
How much sleep do you need to be alert?
Alert? I guess about 8.
8 hours?
Yeah, I had about 8 minutes, so, you know. I think it
Minutes?
answers itself, yeah.
I've slept longer than that in my monologue. Want to cut the racket off on the sound here? Nice gentleman.
We'll continue going through this tomorrow. I'm gonna go to sleep for a little bit, but I'll be here in the morning. We'll pick up where I'm leaving off. Plus the audio and video off.